Hey there, thanks for tuning in. My name is Ramon Newman. I'm founder, CEO of New Mavericks. And in this video, I'm going to give you an insight how you can, as a leader, have more of that unshakable, authentic inner stability and presence and influence on your environment, and more of that intuitive power to be able to master and have more victories in this exponentially changing, dynamically changing and accelerating world, and especially the business world. And this is extremely important because compared to 1955, change is like this. And we have to be able to master that change, be in tune with that change, not let that change cause problems for us, and that we're able to protect achievement and progress. So I'm going to give you an insight based on some neuroscience. And I'm qualified to talk about this because I am a former full-time meditating monk, and that represents for 10 years, that represents over about 30,000 hours. And I'm also a former competitive athlete, runner, and rugby player, won national, provincial, and regional titles in both those sports. And I've been working with business leaders, CEOs and their teams of multi-million, multi-billion-dollar companies over the last couple of decades, helping them really master themselves and navigate themselves and their environment in a lot better, more coherent way. And I've also spent some quality time with some of the world's top neuroscientists, performance neuroscientists, and understand that deeper mechanics of how that mind works and how to get the best out of your mind and yourself. So what I've got here is a diagram of the more active level of the mind and body up here. And up here is like the environment and circumstances that we're dealing with outside of ourselves. Climate, I mean in terms of economic climate or performance climate. Maybe your business is going through some rough storms. Maybe it's going through a real sunshine period. So that's that outer level. And then on this inner level, this more conscious and subconscious mind, we have these different types of brain frequencies that are necessary for us to function and live and lead. So the first type of brain frequency we have is the gamma frequency, which we use a lot to focus on things. When we've got to focus on something, this very excited, alert frequency gets activated in the brain to work out what it is. The next frequency that kicks in is the beta frequency. So we focus on something and then we start processing information from it. So it activates not as excited, but still excited frequency that is involved in contemplating and reflecting and processing and deliberating. And then the next type of frequencies we have is very slow, relaxed frequencies. And these are delta and theta when we sleep and we dream or we're in a relaxed state. So all of these are very, very useful, but obviously if we predominate too much in one or the other, then for example, if we're too excited and overly fixed on one thing, then that can aggravate our mind and maybe cause headaches or migraines or just tension in the mind because there's too much fixation. If we're processing too much, we're overanalyzing things too much, then that can also be an aggravation itself, not only to yourself, but others as well. And then there can be, maybe we're too lethargic or just not enough momentum and we're just too kicked back and there's too much delta and theta, so nothing gets accomplished. We're not very productive. So the ultimate goal here is to actually have all of these equally integrated and balanced and activated at the same time. Now, what they call this when that happens is global alpha coherence. And what they found in world-class athletes, business leaders, and musicians, that when they're performing at their best, and in general, when they're at the top of the game, they have large amounts of this global alpha coherence in their brain functioning. So this goes like this. It encompasses both the alert frequencies, the processing frequencies, and also the relaxed frequencies at the same time. So that's called global alpha. And this is the frequency we want to be in most of the time, if not all of the time, because when we're in global alpha, we're more able to intuitively pick up on the right thoughts and feelings and actions at the right time to act on up here and influence our environment. So the Hay Group, which is a Philadelphia-based company, they did a study of leaders, and what they found is that 50 to 70% of influence on a company's climate and culture and performance is coming from the leaders, and that can extend up to 90% on even smaller companies. And based on this 70 or 50 to 90% influence that leaders have on the performance of a company, then that in turn has a variance of about 28% on the bottom line. So what creates the environment and circumstances and the performance of the company? Well, it's the people, but what creates the people? So this is where the study didn't go any deeper. They didn't go, well, what influences the leaders to influence their climate and their performance and influence the bottom line? Well, it's going on here. What's going on in their mind and body? What's going on in these frequencies? Are they able to be global alpha coherent enough to pick up more of those right thoughts and feelings at the right time to act on that creates better circumstances, better environment, and better climate and performance? So one of our clients, an example of this, he was working on the biggest deal in his history, in his career, a multi-billion-dollar deal. It involved long hours, tight time frames, many multiple no-go hurdles, and many possibilities for stress. And he said, despite all that he felt like he was the eye of the storm. All was calm and relaxed. And as a result, things fell into place. Now, he is describing being in global alpha. He's doing something extremely dynamic, processing a lot of information, dealing with a lot of things, and at the same time, he's feeling very calm and relaxed. So when we work with our clients is that we introduce them to techniques, technologies, and programs that actually allow them to more easily and effortlessly activate this global alpha in their brain functioning so that they're able to have more presence, and have more unshakable presence and influence and more intuitive power, so they're not overwhelmed by all the change and exponential changes that are going on in their life or their business or just the industry and the world as a whole. So this is how you master the change, by getting more settled into the non-change while still being able to integrate with it and work with it. So I hope that's useful to you. Any questions, comments? Look forward to hearing them.